Happy 2026, and I hope you had a great New Year's. This is our weekly aviation news podcast, so it's just audio that I'm focusing on. There won't be a lot of video, so if you are watching it, apologies. I'm on the road, as you can see, and let's get to it. And the stories that we're going to cover the two helicopters that collided, and we're going to cover a horrible wedding tragedy that went bad Friday. We're going to cover the drone issue and, of course, Venezuela. So let's get started. Week actually started fairly benign with all the holidays and everything else. There were some cancellations. Delta had to cancel a lot of flights because the winter storms messed up their systems logistically, but it also spoke to a much deeper problem that Delta is facing with staff shortages, not just in pilots, but in all phases, especially like crew scheduling. If you don't have enough people running all that, then things just get messed up. Pilots are in the wrong city. Aircraft are not where the pilots need to be, all that kind of stuff. So logistically, Delta had to cancel almost 700 flights in the midst of the deep holiday season. So that was pretty significant. Hopefully you guys did not get bit by that bug. So if you did, I'm so sorry you had to deal with that. All right, on December 22nd, the FCC, Federal Communications Commission, banned drones. Now, there's a lot of misinformation and really overload of information on what's going on here. But let me just kind of recap real quickly, because this is important to aviation. The big issue is China owns the drone market. The DJI product is everywhere, and it's a good, solid product. The problem with drones and it being China, and China stealing technology and you know all the turmoil that we're having politically in the world, especially between U.S. and China, having a Chinese drone maker pretty much own the market is a security problem from the U.S. side. However, is your tiny DJI Mavica sending your social security number and whatever to overseas to the Chinese Communist Party? I doubt it. But there are some issues that need to be looked at, and in the government passed a bill that required a security audit on all foreign drone makers to see if there is a problem. And if the audit wasn't completed in time, it would trigger a mandatory filtering of these foreign drone makers. Now, the industry didn't know. The problem was not enough information. The industry didn't know if they were going to be banning complete drones, if they were going to ban parts, what they were going to ban. So there was a bit of a run on DJI drones leading up to the FCC's ruling. But the bottom line is this. The Chinese market, the Chinese drone manufacturers own the drone market here in the U.S. We've got to get better for the U.S. manufacturers, and the only U.S. manufacturers, they're making an inferior product that costs a lot more than the DJI, so that needs to get fixed. So yeah, if you want to ban the DJI, and I'm no fan of the Chinese spy apps and everything else, I think that the U.S. manufacturers just really, really need to get better. So that's first and foremost. And the U.S. drone manufacturers, it's public knowledge that they've hired lobbyists to go in and complain to Congress the security issues of foreign manufacturers. So there's a bit of two sides here. It needs to get cleaned up. We need to see the U.S. manufacturers step up, make a better product, and make it more affordable. On December 28th in Hamilton, New Jersey, there's a cafe. It's a nice place to go and grab a meal with a friend. And two friends had been doing it for some time. And they would land their Instrom helicopters in the field adjacent to the cafe, and they would go enjoy a nice meal as these two old friends would do regularly. And unfortunately, on December 28th, when they got finished with their meal and they were departing, one clipped the other, and one came down hard, and that old friend was killed instantly. The other one lost a tail rotor and he spun down, landing hard. The cafe person ran out there and held his hand until EMT could get there. He was rushed to the hospital and sadly passed away. So on December 28th, we lost two friends who loved to fly their helicopters to get a meal. So that's really sad. December 29th was the 1-year anniversary of the horrible Jeju Air crash in South Korea, Muan Airport, where the 737 on short final struck birds. They decided to go around and they ended up losing both engines, whether it was they shut down the wrong engine or both engines were put out of service by the Baikal duck. We don't know yet. The airplane tried to circle around and land the opposite direction on the runway, and unfortunately was fast. They landed gear up. They slid, really not slowing down much, and they ended up hitting an embankment at the end, killing everybody but the two flight attendants who were in the far aft portion of the airplane. In the meantime, the South Korean authorities have been investigating, and there's been a lot of controversy about whether the truth is coming out or not. And as a matter of fact, the South Korean government has passed a bill requiring an investigation into the investigation. So we'll see if we can get the truth, because we really do need the truth. If it was an engine issue, we need to address that. If it was a pilot issue, we need to address that. Let's look at it objectively and find the truth. On January 3rd, the U.S. military had an airstrike in Venezuela, and it was an incredible airstrike where they took out all the anti-aircraft. Then the 160th, the Night Stalkers, probably the best group of pilots, most skilled pilots you'll ever meet, flew in helicopters and reached the compound where Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife were at, and the Delta Force, as well as some others, were able to apprehend Maduro and his wife and transport them back to the Iwo Jima off the coast, where they were then transported to New York, where Maduro and his wife are in a Brooklyn jail. We'll cover this story more in depth. The aviation portion of this is absolutely incredible, what the U.S. military was able to do. And so, politics aside, I want to talk about the aviation aspects of the operation. All right, I want to turn to a very sad wedding day in Arizona on Friday, January 2nd. While family and friends were gathering to celebrate a momentous day, one of the wedding party had a helicopter, a beautiful Hughes MD-530, and he took his two daughters, 21 and 20, and their friend, 20-year-old. So the four of them went for a quick sightseeing in the beautiful canyons in the hills southeast of Phoenix area. Just beautiful landscape. So they took off, they went up a canyon, and unfortunately they struck a wire, and the wire dislocated the rotor system, and they crashed, and all four were killed. One of the horrible aspects of this case, there was a slack line installed in this canyon 600 feet above the ground. Now, the slack line was, my sources are telling me, the slack line was installed legally with the right paperwork and everything else. There was actually a NOTAM issued. That's a notice to airmen at the nearest airport. However, the NOTAM system is notoriously bad for pilots. It can be pages and pages and listings of stuff. And the important thing that you need is buried in, deep inside documents. It's a problem with the NOTAM system that needs to get addressed. And there's been plenty of people that have complained about it. I think that if I were flying that helicopter on that day, I would not have found that NOTAM that talked about a slack line being recently installed above that canyon. Anyway, they hit this legally installed slack line, and everybody was killed. As a matter of fact, one of the relatives got an alert on their smart device that their relative had a high impact situation. So another helicopter pilot got in his 505, his Bell 505, and went to go see if he could find them. And he almost hit the slack line himself, but they did find them. They got the county sheriff and rescue people got there, and unfortunately all 4 were fatal. So what should have been a joyous wedding day turned horribly tragic, and I cannot imagine what that family is going through. So that's what happened in that's what happened in Arizona on Friday when you hear about and read about the helicopter crash. Tragic situation. That's our aviation recap. I'm going to keep it short today, and I hope you guys stay safe out there. Remember, superior judgment trumps superior skill. You guys stay safe. Take care.